All right, Mustang fans and surrounding areas, welcome to Monday Mustang podcast. And that means it's Monday evening, and we'll be talking Ingleside sports about the athletic program there. We've got three scheduled for tonight. Our baseball head coach, Sanchez, is unavailable. He's got a game going on there tonight versus Toloso Midway, so he will be unavailable. We hope to have him back next week to see how the baseball team is doing, getting an update. But we do have three that are on the schedule. We will start off with our Ingleside Lady Mustang soccer, and then that starts here in a bit. And then about 7:30, we'll have Coach Lewis Williams. He'll come on to talk about the Ingleside Mustang, our soccer boys. Then we'll finish it off tonight at 8 o'clock with our head Ingleside Lady Mustangs softball coach, Kevin Lewis. Coach Lewis will have one of his players joining us as well. So we've got three, like I said, on the schedule tonight, and on the screen you'll see. We'll start off with our soccer program for Ingleside Lady Mustangs soccer. Our head coach Mitchell Lynch is unavailable tonight, but he does have his assistant coach Sandra Alvarado on the screen here. Coach, how you doing?
Good.
Coach, thank you for coming out here and first time and spending some time with us here. We'll be able to kind of dive in a little bit more. You've heard us talk a little bit about not just wanting to talk about varsity, but also getting into the sub-varsities and coaches the future. I call them the future because they'll be playing on varsity, if not next year, the year after. So we definitely also want to focus on that program, and coach can tell us what it is, the expectations, what are they doing, how are they getting better. We're also she's gonna be able to introduce the junior varsity roster. Before we do that, Coach, I'd like to introduce you to tell the community, are you from Ingleside, around this area, and how did you get coaching soccer or becoming a coach?
So I've been in Ingleside teaching and coaching for 10 years now, and I'm originally from Rockport and grew up there and graduated from Rockport. I played a lot of sports in high school: volleyball, track, cross country, and soccer. And so I started off the track coach here in Ingleside with the assisting in cross country and some volleyball. And then once we opened up our program in, I believe, 2019, I transitioned to the head coaching position and just been looking forward from there.
Did you say you played soccer here in Rockport as well?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, we do. Well, I'm from Rockport, but we definitely cover Rockport sports as well here. So it's nice to see that program out there in Ingleside is doing really, really good. It hadn't been in existence like the one here in Rockport, but I think it's definitely off to a great start. I mean, I Coach Lynch coached here a little bit, so I know a little bit about him. And then Coach Williams, I think, is doing an awesome job over there. So the programs, the soccer programs there in Ingleside are excelling. For this group in particular, it's a young group. I really didn't know how young they were until we started doing a couple of podcasts with just three seniors, I believe. So the bulk of this team will be back next year. So that's got to excite you, obviously, and Coach Lynch, and what some of these girls are doing. You know, he sends me the stats, and my goodness, some of these girls consistently. It's not one game where they're having a good game. They're playing good, scoring pretty much every game on the road, at home, which is awesome. So we're going to get to talking more about the varsity, but we do want to kind of tonight talk a little bit about the sub-varsity coach. And of course, they're the future. They'll be playing on varsity next year if some of them aren't already playing this year, or the year after. Talk to us a little bit about this team to start off with. Who's on the JV? How many girls are on the JV this year?
Let me get a count. I think I have 14 girls. Let's see here. 16 girls. It varies week to week. We share a lot of girls with basketball, golf, and tennis. And then sometimes we lose some to grades, unfortunately, and that happens. But we're holding 14 strong. And then sometimes there's a few injuries in varsity, and we're having to suit up some JV kiddos and jump into that spot and try to figure out that level of play and be beneficial for the team.
Yeah, that's a little difficult sometimes because they
Mhm.
go up and down. So that chemistry trying to build is kind of hard. We'll kind of get in more on the season, but I want to give you an opportunity to introduce them. So if you have their jersey number and their names.
Mhm. So first up, I have number one, Aubrey Ramirez. Her older sister is on varsity, and they actually play the same position, center defensive mid. Um, she is a pretty good technical player, but has that defensive mind behind her. So she's been doing really well and just really excited to be part of the team, just like her sister.
Awesome.
We got number two, Bailey Patton. She's able to be a dual sport athlete with cheer, and she's uh, a go-getter. She's tough in center defensive mid as well, but she can pretty much play wing and striker when needed. But she has been growing a lot, and today she had a great practice day. I thought it was one of her best ones yet. And
Awesome.
number three, we have Ebony Escamilla. She is a junior, and she is holding our captain spot. Just trustworthy. She understands the game. Her IQ has been improving, and one of the reasons why I made her captain is because of her IQ and understanding what the coaches are wanting out of the game. We got number four, Jalissa Garcia, one of the players who's been moving up and down on JV and varsity. She plays fullback and on the defensive line. She has the technical ability and the vision. Her IQ is very good, and we're just hoping to see her level play grow very soon. So she's one that we are looking at. We have Sierra Sosa, another great player that's been going up and down from JV to varsity. Very good technical skill, very strong, tall and sturdy. So we've been really proud of her and how she's been growing. We have number six, Bailey Dolacy. She can play striker, but she's very technically sounded. She can play center mid, anywhere in the attacking spots. But she has such a good vision on the field that we can put her anywhere and we know she'll deliver a great ball. Let's see, I have Hope Longoria. She's number seven. She's been new to soccer. She didn't really play in her middle school years. We don't have a program, but we try to encourage them to play in the league. So this was her first year really playing soccer, and she's really enjoyed it. She's hold back a spot on the fullback on the defensive line, and I trust her back there. And she's been doing really well. Really, just love having her. We have number eight, Camden Neal. She plays wing right now. We had her late in the season due to grades, but she's been doing really well and just a go-getter and just always wants to do well. Um, she has a really good left foot passing, and I'm looking forward to seeing her more minutes tomorrow. So, and then we have number nine, Kaylee Navejas, speed demon. Love having her. She always wants to do well. She always asks questions and just wanting to get better and figure out where she can improve. So there's Kaylee Navejas, and we have number 10, Nicole Hopkins. She's been going up and down on varsity. She's on this defensive line as well, center backs, and just doing really well. She had a hip injury there with track. So hoping to see more minutes from her tomorrow. We have number 11, Camila Espinosa. She's a striker or a wing, but she has speed behind her, and we try to feed her with breakaways and through balls so that we can pull out that goalie out of the goal. She's been doing really well getting those opportunities and looks. Now we just have to clean it up and score them. We have number 13, Alicia. She is a sophomore, one of our captains. Um, Captain because we can trust her and she gets along really well with all the teammates. And I think that's really important when being a captain and trying to get everyone on the same page and hyped up. So she plays center mid, has really good vision. She's really improved a lot technical ability, and she just puts in the work every day. We have number 14, Nadine. Nadine, natural technical ability since freshman year. She's a sophomore year now. Center mid, but a high center mid. She has really good connections with all her strikers, no matter who's there. She makes good connections. We have 15, Lillian Pena. She is a dual athlete and is quite involved with school, so sometimes we don't see her as much, but when she's out there, she's always doing her best. She plays center defensive mid. I think tomorrow she might be looking for some center mid time, but we're really glad to have her, and she's been holding it down for us. Number 16 is Kimberly Fernandez. She has also been going up and down with varsity. She is a tough player. She has an eye for the ball and IQ, technical ability. She sees the gaps for the passes, and we're really looking forward to seeing her grow as a player. So hopefully soon varsity. If not, she will continue to just do what she can to get better. Then we have number 20, Destiny Garza. She is our goalie. This is, I believe, her second or third year with us. And next year she'll be a senior, so she'll be fighting for a goalie spot. Since the minutes of our district have changed, if she is not on varsity, she'll be able to play JV. But we share her a lot with track throwing, which is very tedious practice. And so we share and split that time with her. But anything she does, she always does her best. And she's really improved a lot. We had a goalie training this year that was just for players who wanted to put extra time in, and she came out and she's really improved a lot with those touches that she's seen. So that is my team.
That's awesome, coach. And I know it's
Mhm.
a little difficult. I know it seems to me, right, doing these podcasts with the coaches that seems like soccer is the one sport that has to be shared with basketball because basketball is ending and then track is starting. So it seems like because I see a lot of girls doing it. They go from
Mhm.
one game and then they're hurrying up and they come in at halftime and kudos to those girls. But it is difficult for this team to build any type of chemistry when like there's an injury, go up to varsity. So at any moment, that chemistry trying to build, 2 3 girls go up, and then you got to share them. So it's really really difficult. I hear coaches tell me all the time that really on I mean you want to win as many games right on that sub varsity, but they say a lot of times what they're looking for is just to get playing time for them and just to be able to continue to get better. So for you, what are you looking for in this team? I mean, obviously you go to play and win, but what are you really looking for this team to continue to build for next year? What do you want to see from your team?
I think what I want to see is um, just trying to emulate that varsity style of play that coach wants to instill into everyone and what the goal is, at least for this year. Last year's style of play, we try to teach the JV and put the right players in the right spot that still fit that style, but just get them used to that style of play. But I think that they've shown a lot of progress and shown pieces of that style, and they've been doing really well. Like we've had two losses and maybe two ties, and the rest have been wins for that JV team. But like you said, it's been really hard to well, it hasn't been that hard to share, but it is difficult at times. But all the coaches here at Ingleside have done really well with it, and we really do appreciate it just so that we could see our program be successful and grow in everything that we have so that we can show them the school pride.
Coach, I think the girls are doing good. I mean, getting to know we've had some of these girls on the podcast. They're young. Some of them have even interviewed very, very well. Like they weren't shy at all. I was kind of hesitant to really ask them a lot of questions because I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable or nervous where they don't want to come back. Some of them were like, I should have had more questions for them because they were ready to go. They were like, hey,
Yeah.
man, throw another one. So, very impressed for the short amount of time that the program has been in existence. You guys compete with really a tough program. I mean, this district is very, very tough. That a lot of them have already been in existence a lot longer. So they've been around, the program's been around. So I think for the short amount of time that Ingleside has had this program and what they're able to do this year, being very competitive, some of these teams, I think they lost to Rockport by a point that was really close. I saw the first one out in Rockport. Says a lot about these girls and where they're coming and as young as they are. So definitely being able to talk about the junior varsity, that's our future. Being able to shine some light. They will be the ones that you'll see here. They're the ones that are going to continue the tradition in the next 2 to 3 years. So it's great that we were able to have you on tonight and to share more light on them. Coach, how many of them are freshmen right now?
I cannot tell you on top of my head, but I'm heavy freshman, and I think there might be, I think 8 or 9 out of the 14. I
Wow.
have two juniors and a few sophomores. But again, like you said, they are very young. And I give kudos out to our Texas Coast Soccer League, who has been running it for some time now, and that's been helped a lot just to get them into the play of the game and loving it and finding that passion for it. So kudos to Mrs. Crane and Mr. Crane and everyone that's on that board. They've sustained it really well, and all the coaches who have volunteered has helped tremendously just to get our sport out there and keep it growing.
It is, and it's a sport that is becoming more and more popular. A lot, you know. It's a lot of people watch, a lot of people play it. I played it when I was young. I was about average. I wasn't below or anything special, but I played and did what I had to do. But I had a lot of fun when I played it. Let's talk a little bit about the players. So, you played a couple of games here. Who are some of the players, or feel free to talk about all of them in terms of what you're seeing on the field, in practice, leadership, growth? I mean, feel free to share some of those stories here with us on the podcast.
Um, I mean, I give them goals to the game prior to, and not so fast at once, but little goals at a time. But they're very motivated and very competitive. They really want to win, and they started off. Our first game was a loss, and I think that you know hurt a little bit, and so they came back, to practice and really honing into the little things that we do every day. That gets a little tedious, but they just come out every day and do what they can to get better. And I think that the latest few games, I think I've rewarded them with some ice cream because you got to have fun with JV, and they've earned that goal. And I've given them goals to make goals specifically off of crosses, and they've met it. And uh, I think almost everything but one goal they've set and gone out there. Um, I think the only one that we've been struggling with is shutting out teams. So these next two matches will be their last two matches due to Bishop not having a JV. So they're looking forward to finally coming out. Last week we had SGA and Kingsville, so they weren't unable to play due to them not having a JV. But we're going to set some more goals and see what we can do.
And
I
with
think I'm only going to have 11, but I think we have a pretty good depth chart on the JV.
Awesome. And with Calallen and Beeville, I think coming up, they do have sub-varsity, so the girls will play the next two. You said, right?
Correct. Last time our JV tied Calallen 0-0. We lost them early in a tournament 0-2. And then Beeville, we beat them the first round 4-1. So that'll be two very competitive games.
Absolutely. I mean, we could get the sweep on both of them. That'd be great. So they
Mhm.
will
Mhm.
play out, and they play the early game. So y'all play where the varsity plays. So, if you can come out,
Mhm.
like I said, we all want to see and come out to the varsity. But if you can, this is the future. You definitely want to come out and see these girls. When our seniors graduate, they'll be the next girls up in line that you'll see. Some of them very heavy freshmen. So they'll be, after this year, 3 more years in the program. And so you definitely want to be out there seeing what the future holds. At least, coach, for myself, I like actually shining the light on the seniors because this is their last year. We can't talk about them after this year. But what's important to me too is what's coming up, right? How do we stay competitive in a very tough district? So what we're doing at the JV level and how they're getting better is always something that we want to bring out here on the podcast. So thank you very much for sharing a little bit of stories and talking a little bit about your team. They do have 2 more left, and both of those games, coach, correct me, they're on the road.
Correct, on the road.
Okay. Let's now go over to varsity. As I said, Coach Mitchell unavailable tonight, but the Lady Mustangs varsity team gets 2 wins against SGA 6-1, and then against Kingsville 6-3. Coach, I want to get your thoughts on these games to recap them. But with SGA, 3 goals and 1 assist from Jimena Jimenez, 3 from Zoe Garibay, 1 assist from Ella Casey, 1 assist from Mariana Olivares, uh,
Correct.
14 saves from Vivian Davis. Is that correct?
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about that. That was a huge win, 6-1. These girls offensively I think they're getting better every game. And so talk to us a little bit. What were you guys, you and coach, what did you see from the Lady Mustangs as far as performance against Santa Gertrudis?
I think that we were able to start off stronger than usual that game, and then just to continue having that Jimena Zoe duo up there, each holding down a hat trick for themselves and just assisting in one another. I think Zoe does a great job of crashing the box, so she's able to grab those opportunities and just close them in. I think that's where she really has been racking up all her goals. She's now at, looks like 28 for district, 28 goals for district already. And I think we were just talking last week. She was asking for how many goals she's had. She had 18, so she already added 10 more to that. But I think the duo there has been working really well. And I think Zoe came in late last year from JV, one of the players that got moved up. And she's just been doing really well, I think, from the start. And I think you throw in Ella Casey and her speed out there on the other side. They just support each other and able to make some things happen. I think that game was a lot of fun against SGA. Um, they had a they have a pretty good defensive line and a big girl there in the middle, so she covers a lot of ground. But we were able to execute our game plan that night. So I think Vivian had a great showing in the goal that day and had some two tough blocks that kind of got out of her hands. But yeah, she had a lot of saves that night. So we really had to earn that win.
She's been really good. I've seen the goalie. She's been doing a great job. Like I said, they send me the stats after every game, and I'm like, wow, and she really, really plays. Um, Zoe, Zoe's a sophomore. Jimena's an underclassman. She a sophomore or junior?
Jimena's a sophomore as well.
Wow, that's scary. That's scary.
Yeah.
That's really scary because when I found out they were sophomores, because man, Zoe just really just seems to be getting better every game. Every time I get a stat, it just seems to be getting better. Like she seems to be getting stronger and better every game. Just when you go, wow, she's playing good. Here we go again. And so to be able to have her 2 more years, it's going to be very interesting to see how many goals, because we were interested. Because I remember one time there was a boy that we were covering here in Rockport, and he had over 50 goals. Cristobal de Leon, man, he had over 50 goals in like his sophomore year. And I was like, 50? And they were like, yeah, like 50 something. And I was like, my goodness, like, how do you get to that point, right? Like, it's got to be like soccer 24/7, I think, right? Like, you play it in the off season. And Zoe, almost hitting 30, which I think she probably will. Who knows? She might even hit 40 before the season is over. But as a sophomore, just if you look, and I've never seen her, but maybe once played this year, she seems to be getting better every game. Wow. And we had her on the podcast too to talk to her a little bit. So this is a sophomore, Mustang fans, that really come on out if you haven't. I tell you, these girls are going to surprise you. Very young, but competing, they compete every game, win or lose. And the future definitely looks bright here for the Lady Mustangs, the softball program. And then we go to Kingsville. We got the win 6-3, 1 goal and 2 assists from Haley Carter. 3 goals from, again, Zoe Garibay, 2 goals and 1 assist from Marilyn Monroy, and 1 assist from Ella Casey. 10 saves again for Davis. So what did you see from the ladies in that game?
Yes, we had to make a few adjustments there with Jimenez out. We also had Lillian out due to a ankle injury. And so we moved Marilyn to center mid, where she was able to shine a little bit more and show some more attacking minded offense. And I'm not surprised she scored 2 goals with having some practice against Bishop. And I think she scored 6 goals against Bishop. So she was able to get some things in the net there. And Zoe did her thing. And I think she had a tough first half, but I think it was her adjusting from not having Jimena, her partner in crime there. But everyone else stepped up to the occasion with Ella assisting and Carter assisting. And then Carter had a corner kick out there, and she had been trying to kind of squeeze it into the goal there from the contact in the corner, and she made it happen. And she has a leg on her. We call her bionic, her bionic leg. So I was really cool to see that game at her home stadium with their last home game, and they were really excited and emotional that day. So really happy for both of those seniors.
Yeah, and that was a great, I mean, great win. Like I said, a team that continues to get better. So the next two games are going to be on the road, but they're not too far. I think Beeville might be a little further. Calallen about maybe 30-minute drive. So the
Mhm.
weather's good. I think we're done with the really cold, freezing weather. I think so. Definitely, the evenings are nice, a little windy, but nice. You can wear a little jacket or sweater. Get out there and support this team. They are playing great. Like I said, a very young team still that's going to be back next year, continuing to build. The goal for this team is to get in the playoffs. We talked about that, Coach. So the next question I have for you is the district standings. With the two wins, where do we stand now, if you know? And what are our chances to still making the playoffs? Because talking to Coach last week, he did say, we're probably going to need some help. Where are we at right now?
We're currently still tied for fifth, I believe, with TM. But these next two matches are vital for our life in the playoffs. We're gonna have to come out with something against Cal Allen, and we're gonna have to win or tie in order. We need a win on one of them, either or, and then tie either or, and we give ourselves a chance.
There you go. And Coach, to be honest, that's what you want. You're still in the mix, right? Like the good thing is we're not right now going into these games not fighting for nothing. We still got an opportunity, and the girls are playing great. So again, there are two games coming up. They'll be on the road. Let's update those. So on Tuesday, tomorrow, I believe game time, and correct me, Coach, if I'm wrong, 7:30 on both of those games. Tomorrow will be at Calallen. Did we beat Calallen the first time? I think I saw that we did or didn't.
We did not. It was a 3-6.
Okay. And then on Friday, it's another road game at Beeville. So just kind of talk to us about both those games. Let's preview them. What do you got? What do you, from the first go around with Cal Allen? Because Beeville too, did we beat them or we took the L to Beeville too the first time?
We lost in PKs. It was a 1-1 tie game.
So there you go. So we were right there. So for the Cal
Mhm.
Allen game, what do you want to see? What is it that we're going to have to do at their place to get that win tomorrow?
We're gonna have to have a clean sheet there, shut out, and then able to score probably early on and just hold on defensively, I think. And if we can make that happen, I think that's gonna be a big upset for the for our district. And I think we can do it.
Absolutely. And then Beeville, I mean, the first go around, it was right there, 1-1. So we know we can play with them. Now we're going over to their place. What do you want to see from the Lady Mustangs in that game?
I want to see us a little bit more tech and minded against them, but I think that we can probably come out, a close game again, 2-1. But I think they can get the win. We had a rough game that go around. We didn't really connect as well as we had before, connecting our passes, looking to our center striker and then making things happen there. But I think if we can get past the middle third and find our teammates, it's not just about one player. I think if we really utilize everyone, like we have been, I think that we can come out with a win.
Absolutely. For these next two games, it's going to have to be a team win, right? We can't win it with one or two people.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone defensively, we're going to have to play good. Those teams are good over there. And
Mm-hmm.
again, this district, if you don't follow it, it's tough, man. There's not too many off games. You may have one or two that you can say, okay, I think we got this one, but every other one, and they play each other twice, you got to come out with your A game, any team, because about five or six of these teams are good. And if you come out and relax, and even if you're at the very, very top, play other teams can beat you. I mean, there's just so much. There's good coaching, number one, in this district. Number two, there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of good players, a lot of good talent. So when you want to watch some good soccer, whether you're on the Ingleside side or the opposite, you come see these district teams play, and you'll see some good soccer. So obviously, let's hope we come back next week when we talk to the coaches that we're coming back 2-0, right? And we're getting ourselves in the playoffs. But I think the thing is right now, we're in the mix. And that's where we want to be. We're not out yet. And so we got to win these, and then we'll see where the chips fall. Coach, thank you very much for coming out, spending some time with me. Really appreciate it. Hopefully we can have you back out again with Coach Mitchell. Coach Lynch, I'm sorry, next time before the season ends, but I'll give you the final word. Anything you want to add?
No, just super proud of our program. Like you said, we've fairly new, still coming up, I think, 6th year, and just super proud of the community and the girls, and just working hard and having fun.
Coach, keep doing what you guys are doing. Obviously, both of you are coaching well because the girls, we can see, when they're learning, when you start seeing them play and they're getting better from the start to the end. This team started out a certain way, midpoint, now toward the end, this team has gotten better. From the first time the season started, game one of the scrimmage to now, this team has gotten better. And that says a lot about our coaches that the girls are learning, they're buying into your message, into the system, and we're going to be successful for that. Good luck in the next two games. And hopefully, when we talk next week, we're talking Ingleside 2-0 over Calallen and Beeville. Thank you very much and have a good night.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
And that was Coach Sandra Alvarado. Didn't know she was from Rockport. Had no idea. But Coach Lynch talks highly of her. Obviously, she plays a huge role in the development of the girls. Coach Lynch, also the head coach, but you got to have those assistant coaches. When a program is successful, the culture is built with the head coach, right? But those assistant coaches, you can't have a successful program without them. Coach Alvarado does a great job out there, and like I was telling her, the team's getting better from the start. You're seeing individual players getting better, the team playing better, and that's a credit to the coaches, putting them in a position to be successful with the team. And you heard as far as her sub-varsity, there's the chemistry doesn't get built like it does on varsity because there's injuries. They've got to share the players with other because they play other sports, which is encouraged, I think, there in Ingleside. And then sometimes got to move up to varsity. So they don't ever get to play a full season. And then sometimes, the other team doesn't have a JV, and so they can't play. So a lot of things really for that JV they got to deal with a lot. And to be able to have the record that they have says a lot about the players committed, obviously, to want to play, put their best effort out, but also Coach Alvarado and just how she gets them prepared. Whatever she has to go through, she's prepared to whatever she's going to play with. They're prepared and ready to go, and they're winning more than not. So I want to thank her once again for coming out. Hopefully next week, Coach Lynch was scheduled to be on tonight, but at the last minute, something came up and he was unable to make it, but his assistant coach was. So we hope to have Coach Lynch on next week, next Monday as well. And again, the girls have two games starting tomorrow, both on the road, tough games. Calallen obviously got a win the first go around. We've got to get that win tomorrow. And then Beeville was a close one. We'll be traveling over there. So hopefully we can get wins on both of them. So good luck to Coach Lynch, Coach Alvarado. Safe travels up there and back. And they'll be giving me the results. And I'll be definitely posting them up on the MPND Sports Network, our Facebook page. So coming up here in about 15, 20 minutes, we'll talk Ingleside, our Mustangs, our boys, soccer boys, with Coach Williams. I think he's going to have a player come on. And then right after that, we'll stay on and it'll be Coach Kevin Lewis. Excuse me, I kind of forgot for a bit. Coach Lewis, where we'll talk softball, and he will have a player come on. Before I turn this off, let me see if Coach is ready. If Coach is ready, we'll just keep it rolling here. But let me see if Coach Williams is ready. Oh, you know what? I don't think he is because I think he told me that he doesn't get out practice till 7:30. So we'll be on in about 15 minutes. Tune back in here in about 15 minutes. We'll come back on. We'll come back on with Coach Lewis Williams here to talk soccer boys, and then we'll follow that with Coach Lewis, and we'll be talking about our softball girls. So we'll be back in about 15 minutes.